Alright, for those of you interested in my knife gig saga, this is Friday, and the deadline for Hessler Worldwide to pay me the missing money. And yes, they did pay me. So, it wasn't like a lot of money, but it was what they owed me for the last 2 days of work, plus the missing week. And it's certainly helping, because that's pretty much my last income from the knife gig, and all that I have left right now is what I'm earning off YouTube. So I'm working very hard to try to get the YouTube count up, which means producing more videos, and also preparing to try to work on another channel, and looking for side jobs or gigs that I can work just to get some income coming in. But those of you who've been following the situation with Hessler, essentially they had an agreement with me to pay a draw for me working 5 days a week, regardless of sales. And I would keep working there regardless of sales, even though I felt they were gypping me on the number of sales that they were saying actually went through the register. But long story short, they started not honoring the draw. Those of you who understand, a draw is essentially a loan that I have to pay back. And some of you have said, well, I owed them all this money, they didn't need to pay me. What you don't understand is that every pay period, every 2 weeks, they actually pull the amount that I owe back to them. So it's not like they keep racking up this humongous debt where they're paying me and I never pay them back. They take it out of my my paycheck. And what had happened was, because I was stuck in a string of bad locations and wasn't making enough sales, they started accusing me of not working and just stopped honoring the draw. Now, if any of you have regular bills like housing bills, utilities and everything, then you know you need a certain level of income in order to just survive and live, to make sure you can make your payments. Well, when they start cutting me short, that obviously causes a problem, because I have to pay child support every month, and I have to pay rent for Walter's house, as well as my utilities and bills and operational expense for doing the knife gig. So I confronted them about it, and they accused me of not working, which, not being there and working the gig like I was supposed to be working every day for 5 days straight, 5 days in a row, or 5 days per week. And I quit as a result, because it started off with 1 day, then it became a whole week, and then they started to do it again, and it seemed like it was something they were continuing to do. Now, when I told them I was going to leave, they did want me to stay, and pretty much were offering to pay, but at that point I was like, I don't trust you guys anymore. I can't really work a job where you just keep doing this. You just don't pay me what I'm owed, and you end up not honoring your own word about the draw. So the way things worked out, and I think I was kind of lucky, because I knew that when I was leaving this job, there was a potential there for the last 2.5, 3 weeks, because they're like 3 weeks behind on paying you. There was a potential that they would not pay me for the last 3 weeks of working there, because what they would say is that I didn't make enough sales, and I owed them the draw for those 3 weeks, because I didn't make the sales, so they didn't have to pay me. And essentially they would get 3 weeks worth of free work from me. But what happened was, as fate would have it, when this situation occurred, I had that missing inventory, the $1,200 left in knives, which they wanted back. And that's how we got this. Some of you, chastised me for trusting them and giving them back the knives, even though they hadn't paid me the missing money. You can see that everything works out in the end. They did honor their agreement with me to go ahead and close out my employment in peace, So I will say at least they did that at the end. They did pay me what I was owed, and I guess all's well. I would never take a job like this ever again, because it proved to be very stressful and not really worth it in the end. Although it did help. I mean, the situation helped. I mean, it's what's paying for Walter's house right now. I now need to come out with a real source of income so that I can continue to make this payment and child support. Obviously, I'll be using this money that they paid me to pay child support and maybe another month's worth of rent for Walter. And then after that, I'm kind of in limbo, kind of a scary situation again. So, I appreciate all your prayers, continued prayers. I do appreciate it. I do think it's making a difference. I have been working very hard to try to develop a new series on, you know, it's a spin-off of this channel about earning money on YouTube, which is what we're having to do right now. I'm also trying several other avenues for income, and I can keep you guys posted if you're interested, just to see what works, what doesn't work, and that's in addition to just trying to get gigs that pay me, you know, like daily or weekly. I do still want to try to go on my honeymoon if at all possible, because I think, you know, being married a year, not going anywhere is kind of sad, and also it is a priority in my life to actually try to live my life despite the craziness going on right now in the situation. I do have a court hearing coming up next month, basically in March, about child support and license suspension and all this other crazy stuff. So stay tuned for those. Those are kind of unpleasant stuff, so I don't really talk too much about it or want to think too much about it. So let's get back to more pleasant stuff like living in a van, cooking food, and doing a van build. So thank you all for tuning in. Just wanted to close out the story for you and let you know that all's well, that ends well. The company did end up honoring their agreement with me, and I gave them the benefit of the doubt because, you know, you choose the kind of life you want to live and the kind of person you want to be. I'm a trusting person, and even though someone may show me that they're not trustworthy, you know, I do give them the benefit of the doubt. And, you know, especially with that last exchange where they wanted to confirm that this would indeed make everything all even and right, I felt they were being sincere, and I was willing to take the risk of not getting paid the final payment. But I did that because it's a reflection on me and my own word and integrity. If I tell somebody, you know, I'm going to return the knives to them once they do something, or, you know, having a formal agreement with them, I guess you could consider it a formal agreement, even though it was more through email exchanges, I expect them to honor their end. If they don't honor their own word, that's on them, not on me. As far as me, I will do what I say. Until next time, everybody, take care. God bless you. And thank you again for your kind words.